Hit it, Phil.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Can it be the breeze that fills the trees with rare and magic perfume? Oh, no, it isn't the breeze, it's Jackson time. La-da-da-da.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. Welcome to another episode of the Jack Benny Show from the 1940 season. This is a unique episode. It's big pieces that we'll talk about are the people that are in it and the people that aren't in it. So tonight, some of the people that are in it that we're going to talk about a little bit is Frank Nelson is in this episode. I love when Frank's in an episode, especially these early ones from 1940 season. Also, Schlepperman makes an appearance, so it's nice to have Schlepp back. Sam Hearn playing the Schlepperman character, of course. Sort of the precursor to Mr. Kitzel that would come later. Though Schlepperman was in more skits and things. He was more a complete member of the show, I would say, whereas Kitzel always has kind of a unique little bit that's added to the episode of a few pages, and that's it. Whereas Schlepp would be in the skits as he is in tonight, so that makes it different. The other thing on here is we have the Blue Fairy stopping by, who's played by Mary Kelley. And a really unique feature with that is that Mary Livingston is not on tonight's episode. She is out sick. And over the years, she's out sick more and more at different times. And this is kind of where we're starting to get into that a little bit. Anyway, what's unique about this is that it's kind of funny that Dennis Day tries to take over Mary's part, because always interesting, who's going to take over Mary's lines or what are they going to do? So, and a lot of times she's not available at the last minute and they planned on her to be there. So in this case, Dennis takes over her lines for just a little bit and they explain that. And then it slides off into Mary Kelley doing it as the Blue Fairy. But Mary Kelley was originally going to be married to Jack before Sadie Marks, Mary Livingston, married him. And so it's really weird having your ex substituting in for your wife, I suppose. And so it shows that Mary, I guess, didn't have any worries about Mary Kelley or anything. So she let her do that. Or Jack made it happen and Mary just had to live with it. Anyway, the other thing is we're missing, of course, the Fred Allen show. We know have no Fred Allen show, no other show this week. We're only going to go with the Jack Benny show. But it's, like I say, a fun episode, worthwhile, and I hope you're going to enjoy this. Fred Allen will be back next week like normal. This is another one of those missing episode weeks, I guess. And what else did I tell about you this one? Oh, I know. This is when I was doing my horrendously long intros. Cover a lot of ground. A lot of people really like them. Some people really hate them. So that'll be on the end. At the very end of the episode, if you want to listen to me go on and on and on, you can listen to that. I cover a lot of ground and a lot of topics if you're interested in hearing that. So like I say, we'll leave it there and let you enjoy this episode. Also, for those of you who are curious, our experiment about lining up the script and doing a vertical presentation so it'll work better on phones for our 1950 episode, this is 2025 in case you don't know, worked beautifully. And I loved it on my tablet. I could follow right along and everything. So we're going to do that from now on, I think, each week, if I can put in the time to make it happen for our 1950 and 1945 episodes, because we have those scripts. These ones, the 1940s, we do not have the scripts, so I can't do it, and I really wouldn't have the time anyway. So enjoy this episode, and we'll see you next time for more Jack Benny.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Just Like Taking Candy from a Baby. Summer may come, ladies and gentlemen, and summer may go, taking with it so many of the ripe summer fruits we all enjoy. And it's a mighty comforting thought to know that you can recapture all the grand goodness of this luscious fruit any time you want, simply by making a glistening mold of delicious Jell-O. One taste of this swell dessert, and suddenly you're right back in the middle of June, thrilling again to the fresh, tantalizing flavor of fruits and berries still warm with the summer sun. For Jell-O brings you a delightful memory of the juicy, ripe fruit itself, an enticing flavor that has made Jell-O America's favorite gelatin dessert. So try a rich Jell-O treat real soon, using perhaps strawberry or raspberry Jell-O. Each of these tasty Jell-O desserts has a new, improved flavor, obtained by using a natural flavor base artificially enhanced. And that's the secret of their distinctive flavor. Get strawberry and raspberry Jell-O tomorrow, and at the same time, ask for those new Jell-O puddings, too. Jell-O puddings are made by the makers of Jell-O, so you know they're good. Was just like taking candy from a baby, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we bring you our modest, unassuming master of ceremonies, a man who is never too busy to say hello.
Hello.
Jack Benny.
Thank you, Renly. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking, and Don, that was a very sweet introduction. Never too busy to say hello. But I really don't deserve it.
Oh, yes, you do, Jack.
Do I?
Why, certainly. Whether it's the humble newsboy on the corner or a taxi driver or an urchin with a shoeshine box, Jack Benny always stops. And a smile steals across his face as he says, "Hiya, pal."
How are things going? Oh, pardon me, Don. I was carried away. But let me ask you something, Don. Why shouldn't I go out of my way to be courteous and friendly? We're all human beings. We're all people. Say, after all, what am I?
You know what I said at rehearsal?
Phil. I'm not talking to you. Anyway, Don, I'm just the down-to-earth type that gets along with everybody. You know the little old lady that sells flowers right outside the studio?
You mean the one on the corner here?
Yeah. See, I've stopped and talked to her now every Sunday for 3 years. Hello, little lady, I say.
And she says I told you 1,000 times I'm not going out with you.
Phil, if you can't be sentimental, stay out of this. You know, Don, whenever I pass this little flower lady, a tear comes to my eye. And I can't help but think that she's somebody's mother.
Yes, and perhaps that somebody could well afford to take care of her.
You're probably right, Don. Gee, I wonder whose mother she is anyway.
She's mine.
Now cut that out! You're lying, Phil, because I happen to know that your mother is Cigarette Girl at the Wilshire Bowl. Cigars, cigarettes, and homemade jelly. So pipe down.
Well, you wouldn't get away with this mushy stuff if Mary was here.
Oh, yes, I would.
By the way, Jack, how is Mary? Is she feeling better?
Well, she had a pretty bad cold, Don, but she's much improved. She'll be with us next Sunday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, glad the kid's feeling better.
Thanks. Of course, it'll be kind of tough doing comedy tonight without her.
Don't worry, Jackson. I'm here, ain't I? I can get them belly laughs.
Well, just be grateful, Phil, that you get good lines.
It ain't the material, Jackson. It's my personality. It's how I sock it over.
Oh, brother. Phil, you really think you're the funniest guy in the whole world, don't you?
What a spot. If I say yes, I'm a ham. If I say no, I'm a liar.
You're both if I ever saw one. Say, Dennis.
Yes, please?
How would you like a great big part tonight with funny gags and everything?
Oh, boy, that'll be swell.
All right, you can read Mary's lines. Tonight, you're going to be the girl on the program.
Nothing doing. I'm no sissy.
Dennis, the program is written, and you've got to take Mary's place. You're the only one in the show with a high voice.
Who, me?
Dennis. Now, remember, you're Mary, so go outside and come back when you're supposed to.
Okay, but I'll be chewing tobacco.
You better not. That kid's getting too smart.
Well, look, Jackson, why don't you let me play Mary's part? I got beautiful hair and rosy cheeks.
Oh, fine. He's got a few broken veins there, and he calls it rosy cheeks. We'll manage without you, Phyllis. Well, let's get on with the show. Say, Don, Mary seems to be a little bit late today. I wonder where she is.
Mary? I saw her out in the hall just a few minutes ago.
Oh, you know, Don, she's so excited. She's been shopping all week, and she's... Oh, here she comes now. Hello, Mary. I said, hello, Mary.
Hello.
Gee, you look cute in that fall outfit. That's a new dress, isn't it?
Yeah, I got it, Magnus. Isn't it a dream?
Oh, it's beautiful. But it's cut a little low there in front, isn't it?
On me, it don't make any difference.
Dennis, read the lines that are in the script.
Well, you're not going to make a monkey out of me.
I'm not trying to make a monkey out of you, Dennis. It's just an emergency. If you don't want to read Mary's lines, all right.
Well, I don't.
All right. Just puts us in a spot, that's all. It's a fine program without a girl on it. Gee, there must be some way to work this out. I wonder who we can get.
I'll help you, kid.
Well...
I am the Blue Fairy.
Well, that's a very sweet offer, Blue Fairy, but I'm afraid you won't do. You're too fat for Miss Livingston.
Oh. Well, if Don Wilson ever gets sick, let me know.
We will. We will, yeah.
And now I will fly away, back to my home in the clouds. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Give me a push, will you?
Okay. Gee, look at her go. Out the window. Over Vine Street. Over Beverly Boulevard. Over the La Brea Pits. Play, Phil, and get us out of this fantastic mood. That's for Me, played by Phil Harris and his Waldorf Astoria Ensemble. Waldorf Astoria meaning they couldn't get in there if they were delivering the meat. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Hey, wait a minute, Jackson. After that violin solo you played with us a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't say anything derogatory about my band.
Derogatory? Well, I'll be...
What's the matter? Ain't it right?
Sure it's right. But, Phil, where'd you ever learn the word derogatory?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. You know, I don't start working at the Vault until 9 o'clock, so I've been going to night school.
Oh, well, did you hear that, Don? Phil goes to night school.
Well, congratulations, Phil. How are you getting along?
Very good, very good, so you guys don't have to get derogatory.
All right, we heard that already. What else did you learn?
Oh, plenty of stuff. Come on, ask me something. Ask me anything.
Oh, quiet.
Come on, ask me who invented the cotton gin.
All right, Phil, who invented the cotton gin?
Eli Whitney.
Well.
And with the steamboat, it was Fulton.
Why, Phil, you're terrific.
Hey, Don, here's another one. What does 1492 mean to you?
I don't know, Phil. What does it mean to you?
Columbus.
Gee whiz.
You know, the world is round, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I've heard everything. Congratulations, Phil. And now, ladies and
The
gentlemen...
Mississippi is the longest river in the USA.
Phil, will you stop showing off? I knew about the Mississippi when I was in the 5th grade.
Well, I'm only in the 3rd, so I got you beat.
All right, you got me beat.
Hey, Don, ask
Now-
me something. Don, ask me something about the Revolutionary War. Like, when was it or something?
Phil, please.
All right, Phil, when was the Revolutionary War?
1776.
Well, I'll be darned.
Not bad, eh?
That's very good, Phil. Now, who won the Revolutionary War?
That's coming up Wednesday.
Gee, I'll bet you can hardly wait. Now, look, Phil, we're all very happy to know that you're trying to improve what mentality you have. But there are more important things to talk about, aren't there, Don?
Yes, there are, Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, night school is one of the greatest institutions that flourish in this country today.
What?
It gives thousands of people the opportunity to improve themselves in the field of education.
What's that for?
So, if you're one of the many who attend night school, instead of bringing an apple to the teacher, why not bring her a package of tempting and appetizing Jell-O?
Well, it's about time.
It is not only economical and easy to make, but comes in 6 delicious flavors. So look for the big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O.
And I'm just the guy that can spell it. Jello.
Phil, you're positively brilliant. If you weren't such a bum, you could become president.
B-U-M, bum.
Phil! And now, ladies and gentlemen, going from night school to our feature attraction of the evening, this being the height of the football season, tonight we are going to offer our annual Gridiron Classic entitled Hold That Line. Or, one moment, please. Now, once again, I will play the part of Coach Flash Benny of Flatfoot College. Now, Phil, you, Don, and Dennis will be the players, and your orchestra boys can be the cheering section.
Well, why don't you use some of my boys on the team? They're all athletes.
Phil, shooting pool and pulling corks are not considered American sports. They'll stay in the cheering section.
Wait till you hear their cheers.
Phil, if I hear one bird that isn't a swallow returning to Capistrano, watch out. Now, let's see. We're still short of actors, so I sent for Rochester. Where is he?
There he is, Jack, talking to Dennis Day.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Rochester.
Yes, please.
Now, Rochester, we're short of actors tonight, so I want you to play a part in our football sketch.
Okay, give me the ball.
Now, wait a minute. You're not going to play on the team. You're going to be the water boy.
That's a little bit derogatory, ain't it?
Don't argue. Here's your bucket. You've got a very important part.
Important?
Yes.
Boss, the only man that ever got famous with a bucket was Old Man Mose.
Never mind.
And he had to kick it.
Now, Rochester, look at it this way. Who's one of the most valuable members of a football squad? The water boy.
Uh-huh.
Whenever a player is injured, who rushes out with a cold drink for him? The water boy.
Uh-huh.
And whenever a sensational play is made and the crowd stands up and cheers, who are they cheering?
Okay, give me the bucket.
And now that we're all set, ladies and gentlemen, this play will go on immediately after a song by Dennis Day. What's it going to be, Dennis?
Well, Mr. Benny, this being Navy Day, I'm going to sing a special arrangement of a brand new number called He's My Uncle.
Swell. Go ahead.
Hey, Jackson, I just thought of something. We still haven't got enough actors for a football team.
Gee, that's right. Well, we'll just have to get along, Phil. What else can we do?
I'm available, kid.
Now, look, Blue Fairy, I'm afraid you can't help us.
All right, then I'll fly away. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ah, there she goes. Out the window. Back to the fleecy clouds. Back to the sky of gossamer blue. Back to the Plaza Hotel. Sing, Dennis.
Who's that grand old guy with that hat so high? You all know him, so hello him when you catch his eye. He's my uncle, I'm his nephew. I'm as proud as I can be, and my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozens share that pride with me. For my uncle envies no one, and there's no one he provokes. And my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozens, we're his kind of folks. That spry old chap never picks a scrap, but he's won all he's had. And furthermore, I feel sorry for any big bully that gets him mad. He's my uncle. I'm his nephew. I'm as proud as I can be, and my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozens, we're proud of Uncle Sam. He never tries scaring little guys or brags of whom he'll trim. He's peaceful, yet people can't forget no one was ever too tough for him. He's my uncle, I'm his nephew, and it's mighty proud I am. And my sisters and my brothers and my cousins by the dozens, we're proud of Uncle Sam. We're proud of Uncle Sam.
Very good, Dennis. Very good. That was He's My Uncle, written by Lou Pollock and sung by Dennis Day. And, Dennis, that was a swell number. I like the thought of it.
Me too.
There's nothing like a patriotic song. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jackson, you know who made the first American flag? Betsy Ross.
I know, Phil.
With a steamboat, it was Fulton.
All right, you told us that. Sit down, genius.
Okay.
Betsy Ross made the first American flag. It certainly is a secret. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our rough and tumble football play entitled Kicked in the Bridge Work, or I'll Never Smile Again. The scene is Flatfoot College, located in the thriving little town of Purile, Indiana, which is just 3 miles north of Bano. The first half has just ended in the annual game with Meatball Tech. As the curtain rises, Coach Flash Benny is giving his team a pep talk in the locker room. Curtain. Music. Now, listen, men. We're in a tough spot. The last half is about to start, and we're behind 98-7. But we still got a chance to beat them. The game isn't over yet. Let's hear some of that Flatfoot spirit. That's the stuff. Now, I want you to go in there this last half and fight. You understand? Fight. What are we, men or mice?
Give me a tail and call me Mickey.
I'll give you a Mickey. Now, listen, men. In the first half, Meatball had things their own way. But in this next half, Flatfoot's going to walk all over Meatball.
Sounds messy, doesn't it?
And you, Harris, you're supposed to be a football player, an All-American. Why, during the first quarter, you played like a dope. D-O-P, dope. You spelled dop, dope. And you, Wilson, you're as bad as the rest of these lugs.
Why, what are you talking about, Coach? I recovered 5 times on fumbles.
Yeah, but every time you fell on the ball, we had to get a new one. Now, take it easy.
Okay. Pass the fudge, Phil.
Lay off the candy, Wilson. Your stomach is over the goal line when you still have 5 yards to go. Now, put down that fudge.
A little fudge won't hurt.
Oh, so you're butting in, you imbecile, the way you play football.
Now, Coach.
You run around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Now, Coach.
Every time you got the ball, you ran the wrong way.
Well, turn my head around and let's get going.
Get out of here. Now, listen, men, in this next half, I want you all to... Hey, water boy, what are you putting in that bucket?
A little lemon juice, that's all.
Lemon juice, eh? Lemon juice in the water.
Yeah, that goes with the sugar.
Oh, lemon juice and sugar. I suppose that's lemonade.
Lemonade, that's it.
I see. You didn't put anything else in the bucket, did you?
No, sir.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me have a glass of that lemonade.
Don't take more than one.
I thought so. Lemon juice, sugar, cracked eye. Rochester, are you mixing Tom Collinses in that bucket?
It ain't pancake batter.
Well, throw it away. Pour it out the window.
Okay, that grass is sure gonna grow out there.
Never mind about the grass. Now, men, it's almost time for the second half, and we're going to win.
You can count on us, Coach.
I'm not counting on any one of you. I got a new player coming into the game, and he'll show you what football really is. I've heard a lot about this boy, and they tell me he's a sensation.
A new player, huh?
Yeah. Come on in, Butch.
Hello, stranger.
Well, so you're the sensation, eh?
That's me, Butch Slepperman, the beast of Boyle Heights.
Good. Now, we're depending on you, Schlep. Do you think you can win for us?
What is the score now?
98-7.
Who's got the 7?
We have. What do you say, Schlep?
You're lucky if you can keep that.
Now, wait a minute. We're depending on you to come through, so don't be so pessimistic. Be cheerful. Be happy.
98-7, and he wants smiling Frankie Gordon.
Never mind. Just get in there and fight, that's all. What position do you play?
I'm a tailor.
All right, you can be left tailor. Now, come on, men. I'm going to play in the game myself this last half, and Flatfoot is going to win, or my name ain't.
Folks, the second half of this thrilling gridiron duel is about to begin. The score is Flatfoot 7, Meatball 132.
132? Why, the rats, they've been playing during intermission. Come on, men, we'll show them.
Meatball is already on the field, and here comes Flash Benny and his Flatfoot team.
Hiya, folks.
Flash Benny is going into the game himself. What an ovation he gets from the Flatfoot cheering section.
He's never too busy to say hello, to say hello, to say hello. He's never too busy to say hello. Joe, Joe, Joe.
Ah, folks, what a crowd is gathered here today. There's the whistle. They're lining up, and Meatball is about to kick off to Flatfoot. There's the kick. It's a beauty. The ball is coming down on the 15-yard line. There goes Harris for it. No, he's headed for the water bucket. What a business Rochester is doing.
I told him to pour that out.
What's this? Butch Slepperman, the sensational new player, gets the ball. He's hit hard, and the ball is on Flatfoot's own 10-yard line.
Schlepperman, are you hurt? Schlep, say something.
With the steamboat, it was Fulton.
He's delirious. Folks, Schlepperman was knocked out on the first play, and they're carrying him off the field, but that boy is a sensation.
Sensation? Why, he was knocked out in the first play.
He's alive, ain't he?
Never mind. All right, men, we've only got 90 yards to go. I'll carry the ball around left end.
Why don't you run around my end, Flash?
I did that in the last game and wound up in Laguna. Now, come on. Signals. 72, 23. Hey!
The ball is snapped to Flash Benny, and there he goes. Look at that boy run. Look at him go. No wonder they call him Flash. They finally tackle him, folks, and he's down. Benny lost 8 yards on that play.
Darn it. Well, men, I'm afraid it's hopeless. 98 yards to go, and we can't gain an inch. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, here she is again.
Let me carry the ball, kid.
You? Listen, Blue Fairy. Football is a man's game, and those guys will kick you all over the field.
Well, at my age, I can't be choosy.
All right, then. You take Dennis Day's place. Come on, fellas. Line up.
Flatfoot is lining up, folks, but there's been a substitution. Dennis Day has been replaced by the Goodyear Blimp.
That's the Blue Fairy.
Well, how can I tell from here?
All right. All right, Blue Fairy. I'll take the ball and lateral it. The rest is up to you.
Don't worry, I'll beat him, Daddy. 8 to the bar.
Good. Signals. 33. 45. Hey.
Demi receives the ball. He laterals to the Blue Fairy, and she takes off. And she's flying down the field. Listen to that crowd cheer. The Blue Fairy is landing. She's landing over the goal line. And what's this? She carried 21 footballs, folks, making 21 touchdowns simultaneously. And Flatfoot wins 133 to 132. Hey, Rochester, come here with that bucket.
Oh, no, Mr. Announcer, you've had enough.
You said it. Play, Phil.
October, ladies and gentlemen, is the month of apples. Winesap, Spitzenberg, Baldwin's, McIntosh, and all the rest of those ruddy-cheeked favorites. And just to celebrate the occasion, here we come with a grand Jell-O and apple dessert. It's really something special, a swell autumn day treat, and you can have it all ready and on the table in no time at all. Simply make up a package of lemon Jell-O according to the directions on the box. Chill until slightly thickened and fold in 1 medium red apple cubed. Then mold and serve as a bright, tangy dessert or salad. The tempting flavor of this delicious combination is something you just have to taste yourself to appreciate. So tomorrow for dinner, enjoy this mellow October dessert, crisp, juicy apples embedded in a glistening mold of rich, golden lemon Jell-O.
Yes? Yes? Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Mary. Say, did you hear the program? Uh-huh. Well, how'd you like our football sketch? Yes? Mm-hmm. I see. Oh, well, you've got a cold. Good night, doll. So long, folks.
Jell-O.
News for thrifty housewives. Log cabin syrup for less money. All 3 sizes now selling at lowest prices in history. Ask your grocer about his new low prices. Remember, same matchless log cabin flavor. So delicious with piping hot pancakes or waffles. Only the price has changed. Tomorrow, buy log cabin syrup at the new low price. The lowest ever. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. Today's podcast, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while. I'm going to respond to an email that I got. This one's from Brett. And Brett, I'm going to try and answer all your questions that you had. You had some really good questions that I thought everybody might want to hear the answer to, so I thought I'd do it as a podcast. But before I get to that, let me talk a little bit about today's episode. It's a unique episode in that Mary is out sick, which doesn't make it all that unique, because if you've noticed over time, Mary's out sick quite a lot on the show. And part of that we'll get to links into one of Brett's questions about Mary. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. Anyway, so she's not on the show. Well, they're going to have Dennis do her lines, supposedly on the show. And but he ends up not doing her lines, and the Blue Fairy shows up and ends up doing Mary's lines. Now, what makes this interesting is, of course, I'm sure some of you are getting little red flags that go up and go, wait a minute. The Blue Fairy is played by Mary Kelley. And I told you in a few podcasts ago, Mary Kelley almost married Jack before he and Mary Livingston, well, Sadie Marks was her name at the time. She's changed it to Mary Livingston after she was on the show for so long. But anyway, he and Sadie had nothing going at this time. This is before her time, and came very, very close to marrying Mary Kelley. So years go by, of course. He ends up marrying Sadie Marks, who becomes Mary Livingston, and they bump into Mary Kelley, and Mary Kelley needs work, and she's gained a lot of weight, and so reluctantly, Jack uses her on the show for to make comedy about her weight and so forth, which he doesn't feel right about, but Mary Kelley assures him that, hey, she wants the work, and she's taking in the good fun that it is, just like he pokes fun at Dawn for the same thing. So that all works out, and she's the Blue Fairy, and she's fairly popular with fans and everything, so they keep bringing her back. And in this case, they bring her back to do Mary's lines. But it is a little weird to have her kind of replace Mary in this episode, being as she was Jack's, I don't know if she ever was officially his fiancée, I think she was. Anyway, she was Jack's love of his life at one point, and then Mary Livingston became that. So now she's replacing her on the show, so it's just kind of a weird turn of events. Also, we have Schlepperman on this show, which is, I always love to hear Schlepperman when he comes on. And so enjoy the episode. And now to Brett's questions, which my iPod just closed. How lovely. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to take them in a weird order, because the first one is about, the last one he asked is about Mary, and so I'll go with that. I've read Mary got a case of stage fright in the 1950s, and they would tape her parts separately. Do you know how this worked technically? I've never been able to figure that out. Okay, here's how it technically worked, and then I'll get into a little more about Mary real quick. Anyway, technically it worked where they would have someone come on and read Mary's lines. It was often Joan Benny would do it sometimes. I'm not sure if Babe did it, Mary's sister, but they would have someone come on and read Mary's lines during the actual performance of the show, and that's what the studio audience would see and hear. Okay, but because in the 1950s they were transcribing a lot of the shows, they could take the tape they created, go to Mary's house. I believe it was Irving Fine that would do this, but I might be wrong. But someone would go to Mary's house. It was either him or Milt Josephsberg. I don't know why Josephsberg would do it. He was one of the writers. So I'd assume it was Irving Fine. We'll go to the house, set up a tape recorder, and have Mary, I would assume, listen to the show, those lines, and read them back in roughly the same way that the person subbing in for her did, so that when they got a laugh, she'd get a laugh. If they flubbed a line, she'd better flub the line, in the same way, sort of thing. So that's how they did it. And those episodes are usually, from what I hear, pretty obvious when those episodes are happening. And by Jack and Mary and Irving Fine and all these people that talked about them, made them seem like they're much more frequent than they truly are. It looks like, and we'll know as we go through these, I haven't heard one yet from where we are at this point in the 1950s on our Sunday night show. And I think they don't pop up, I want to say they don't pop up until the last couple seasons of the Jack Benny show, radio show. So, I don't think there's a lot of them out there. I think that it's overly talked about for how much it really happened. And when we get there, we'll talk about them some more. Anyway, so they'd take her lines that they recorded, and then they would re-record the show, substituting in her lines, which is pretty good technically for back then that they could actually do this somewhat, and apparently it worked. What I think is interesting is how long it took her to really develop stage fright to the point of not being able to go and do it in front of an audience, because she had previously been able to do it, but I think that's one of the reasons why she's gone so much of the time from the show. I think those shows she couldn't work up the courage to do it and just needed a week off or a break. And so they gave her a break. And that's why you hear, probably once every couple of months at least, she's gone. Certainly early on. Later on, it becomes a lot more frequent, where it's maybe once a month she's gone, or a couple times a month. So, and sometimes they write around her. Sometimes it looks like it was more last minute, and so they kind of have somebody else just kind of take her lines. A guest all of a sudden will show up and start sounding a lot like Mary, and that's why, because they didn't rewrite too much, they just rewrote a little bit. Anyway, so that kind of answers that question, which ties into tonight's show where Mary Kelley comes and does Mary Livingston's lines as well. So it could be as early as 1940 that she was starting to have some of this stage fright. I also think it's interesting that she was able to do so many of the television shows. You would think, I could get stage fright and I understand it, but I can't get how it would seem like it'd be easier to do a radio type show with the microphones than it would be to do the television show. But it could be because the radio show was done live in front of like an audience. The television show, the episodes she was in, I believe weren't the live shows, they were the film shows. And if they were the filmed shows, then they would only have a crew and they wouldn't really have the entire audience. So that could be why she did okay for the television show. And I'm just thinking of that as I'm talking to you, so pretty cool that I can process this. Anyway, so that kind of answers that question. Let's go on. Was the Jack Benny Kenny Baker break amicable? I've noticed Jack makes a few Kenny Baker jokes on later shows, and I wondered if they were in good fun or if he was mad at Kenny for leaving the show. This one I haven't read enough about and not because I don't want to read about it, but because there just hasn't been that much written about it. I would like to have seen Kenny Baker's sort of side of this. But generally what I put together is that Kenny got a little big for his britches, perhaps, and sort of said, either he needs a lot more money or something. He obviously was represented by, I can't remember who represented him, but they always say Kenny Baker brought to you by the courtesy of whoever. And so that kind of showed you that his team of agents and so forth were really, kind of pushing things. And so my guess would be that he or his team pushed too hard. And Jack probably, said, well, I can't, match that amount of money, or this is getting to be too much of a hassle or whatever. And so Kenny ends up leaving the show. And it could be that none of that happened. It could be that Kenny just said, I want to try to be in movies and be in Broadway, and I just want to break for a while, so I'm off, and left the show. I'm not sure how that all came about. The one thing that makes it look like it wasn't totally amicable is that there was still, when he left, there was still like a show or two in that season left to go, and he wasn't on them. And the week before, they announced that he was going to be on. They were going to Waukegan to do the last episodes of that season, the 38, 39 season, right? And he was supposed to go the next week. They never explained, but he wasn't in the show. So something happened there. I'm not sure what. But then they ended up replacing with Dennis, and I think all the way around it got seen as a really good thing. And Dennis did a brilliant job and brought more with his vocalizations, his characterizations and things to the table probably than Kenny did. I will say this, I love Kenny, and I'm loving these Fred Allen shows that we're having on Friday nights that have Kenny Baker in them. He does a great job. He's really been featured a lot. He'll come in often in the first couple of minutes and banter with Fred, and I just really, really enjoyed those, and I hope you do too. I think he's on for 2 seasons on the Fred Allen Show, so we've got quite a few episodes coming up, so tune in every Friday to get your Kenny Baker fix now that he's not on any of our Jell-O shows or any of the Jack Benny shows that we're playing. All right? Let's see. Another question. Oh, is there one Jack Benny bio you would recommend? There are lots of books out there, and no one seems crazy about any of them. I am crazy. Wait, let me say. I am crazy about some of the books. So here's what I would suggest. Okay. It sort of depends on what you're into. I guess what I would say is, if you're only going to read one book, I would read Sunday Nights at 7, because it's by Jack himself and by Joan, his daughter. So what happens is, the quick story here is, Joan finds this book that Jack wrote, and for one reason or another, it was never published. There's lots of speculation about that, but we'll let that go. Joan apparently approaches a publisher. Maybe they say, or Joan said, whatever. It gets figured out that if Joan adds some to it, they'll publish it. So Joan adds her own anecdotes of her life, which I think are interesting in and of themselves. But all of Jack's parts of the book are like in bold, at least in the edition I have. It's in bold, and so it's really easy to just read Jack's parts if you want and skip all of Joan's. Interesting to hear his take on things. It's like spending more time with Jack. Some of his friends on the back cover even say something like that. It's like spending another evening with Jack. So it's great. So I would highly suggest that book. Covers a lot of ground, does a great job. And that's more about Jack's life, but it's also about his show and everything. If you really want to focus only on the show, then I would suggest Milt Josephsberg's book called The Jack Benny Show, because it really has chapters on just, chapters on Dawn and chapters on Phil and Dennis and so forth, and it really breaks down the show. It's a funny, easy read, nice one to skip around in, read the sections you're interested in. I got a lot of enjoyment out of that book. Then, of course, the other two big books are Irving Fine's book, which to me seemed to have more mistakes and things in it than the others, but still an entertaining read. And then there's Mary's book, that's Mary Livingston and her brother Hilliard Marks wrote with some third person I can't remember off the top of my head. Also a decent read, but I guess I would suggest the other two first. Then the third book that's totally different is the new one, Reflections on the Jack Benny Program, or Reflections on Jack Benny, with a lot of separate articles, it's kind of just a bunch of articles collected together where people have wrote. I think it's really interesting to read. It's a little like Milt's book in that it's kind of where you can jump around in and everything. So I'd highly recommend it. That's been published just a couple years ago. So that covers that ground. Let's see if you had another question. I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I was wondering if you could help me with some questions. Okay, I helped you with the questions, and I'm glad you're a fan of the podcast. I'm just so thankful that you folks, so many folks, write to me, and I try and return as many emails as I can. I return most all of them with some sort of comment from me. I just love that so many people tune in and listen to the show, are getting a lot out of it. For all you folks, the reason I've got some emails lately is because I was talking about Meet the Press that I'm showing every Sunday, and I said, email me if you want me to keep doing that, and I've got enough emails that yes, I'm going to keep showing it, so you don't have to email me anymore to tell me that, but you certainly can email me and ask me any questions you want. Some of them I'll read on the air if I think they'd be helpful for lots of people to hear. My email is buckbennyotr, all one word, and Buck Benny is, of course, me, all one word, and then OTR is for Old Time Radio. That's where we get OTR. So buckbennyotr@gmail.com, and I will read those and love to hear from you folks. Have a great week. Tune in tomorrow for Fred Allen and some Fibber McGee and Molly. And of course, Sunday night we'll bring you some more Jack Benny and some more Phil Harris. And one thing you might throw in your email is whether I should keep these podcasts shorter or not. You folks, there's been no complaints ever by anybody about my podcasts other than some of the funny voices I use, which are pretty bad. I would agree. But they're fun for me to use, so I will use those sometimes. But I've always wondered if sometimes my long ones that get to be like this one probably, 12 minutes long, 15 minutes long, if that becomes a little much to listen to. And so I'm trying to steer them down to under the 5-minute mark. Some of them recently I've had under the 2 or 3 minute mark. I will not be offended if you write me and say, hey, yeah, keep them shorter. I like them shorter. Or if you write me and say, hey, I want you to talk as much as you want, and I like to hear what you have to say, whatever, that's good for me to know too, because I'm trying to judge whether I should keep doing podcasts as frequently. I've been doing them more frequently in the past month or so than I've ever done them before. And maybe you're getting tired of my voice. I don't know. But I'm fine doing less of them. It's less work if I do less. But I'm also fine doing a lot of them if everybody's still enjoying them. So kind of give me a clue as to more, less, shorter, longer, things like that. Anyway,